and welcome back to My Crafty Mind for You. It's Lori here, and today I am working on a shaker for my traveler's notebook, and this is so far what it looks like. This is the pouch. I have a blue paper behind so you can hopefully see. Okay, my traveler's notebook is a 5x7. So depending on the size of your traveler's notebook or planner, you will have to adjust the measurements accordingly. So what I did was I prepared this ahead of time so you can get a visual, and then I will go over the steps on how to make this. What you are going to need is a pair of scissors or some type of trimmer. You're going to need a piece of cardstock, your choice of color, whatever you have. You're not going to keep this anyhow, so it's just to be able to cut and to be able to mark your page when you know when you come to the point of making your pouch. You're going to need a sheet protector, and you're also going to need a laminating pouch. Okay. That being said, I already have mine cut down to the size that I need them. I'm doing a 5x7. So for a 5x7, I needed to have cut my laminating pouch 10 inches wide by 7 1/4 inches long or tall. This we will do together, and I will be cutting this at 4 1/4 inches wide, and it will stay this length until we get to the next step. So let's begin. And the reason it is going to be cut at 4 1/2 inches is because I don't want it to be the full 10 inches. I want it to fold for my traveler's notebook, leaving me a place to bind for my book. So I will need 2 at 4 1/4. This can get a little tricky when you got this page protector. You got to make sure your cardstock is really up against that edge on your trimmer. Now, trying to run this through the laminator, that will never happen. So when I put it into my pouch, that is when we will trim that down. I'm shooting at a different angle today, hoping that it would be easier for you to see. Now, when I open my pouch, I like to leave at least between 1/8 of an inch and 1/4 of an inch around the edges, bottom and sides. And I also need to allow room for trimming the top. Plus, it's got to grab. And with this tool here, this grid, I get to measure it exactly where I need that 1/4 of an inch to be. That's about good right there. So again, this will not fit through my laminator. So what I need to do now is I need to cut these off. The main thing is just getting these little white bits off. Oh, that's not my trimmer. Now that those are cut at 4 1/4, I need these cut at 7 inches in order for them to fit perfectly into my laminator sheet. Now we will insert this into the pouch. Okay, if you have both sides cut, you need to make sure that you're putting the uncut portion to the top So I like to leave about 1/4 of an inch around the sides and the bottom. The reason for that is because sorry, I'm talking and doing this at the same time, is because the center, like I said earlier, needs to be bound, but we also need some grab room for the laminator. My laminator is ready. My machine is ready, so let's get this going. Carefully lifting up the pouch, starting it in with the seam of the pouch. And we'll run it through. Okay. And it's a little bit hot, so I'm going to let it cool down just a tad. Now, if I would have taken my cardstock out, which I did on my previous pouch, I would have had to trim the top off. But because I didn't, this should pull out fairly easy. Gotta kind of work it. It is in there very, very tight. So here we have it. Here is our shaker pouch. One, the very nice seal, and two. And now we will fill our pouch. Get this out of the way. By the way, this inspiration came from a lady on YouTube. Her channel is Debbie J's Crafting Corner. So if you want to check out her channel, Debbie J's, like the letter J apostrophe S, Crafting Corner. Okay, now we're just going to make sure that this is the right size that I need it to be. It is 5 by 7. I need to take off 1/4 inch. I had left that extra 1/4 of an inch just in case I had to trim it, and I do have to trim it. So we can either pull out my trimmer or I can use the one that is already sized, and that's what we'll do. We'll use this one. It's already sized and ready to go. Now, when it comes to mixing your mix for your shaker, depending on the colors that you have in your traveler's notebook or planner, whatever it is that you're making, you want them to match. And I went ahead and I went off of this one because I thought it was the most colorful. So this is what I've done already. And this is just a folder, and this is for another video. Something pretty to when I'm looking at it, or whoever it is that I gave it to have something pretty to look at, and they can stick in other items in here. So the beginning of my first traveler's notebook, but that's for another video. So what I have done here is I have selected a number of beads to match the colors that are on my traveler's notebook. Also selected some shapes of sequin, just different little shapes. I have also included 2 different types of pony beads and different colors, some buttons of wood, some regular buttons, what else is in here? Some melted pony beads. So melted pony beads, you put these pony beads on a tray in the oven and they turn up looking like this, flat on one side and round on top. Perfect dome. They're so cute. Kids love them. Okay, so what I want to add to this mix, because this still isn't enough, but it's to start, we're going to go ahead and dump it on in there. And so far, this is what I have in my shaker, which that would actually be efficient and people would be satisfied with that. But I like to add other little things in there, such as sequins and things that sparkle. I like shiny things. Glitter. I forgot to mention, I also got these little hearts in here. Get the sequins. You can find them in the packs like this, packs of 6 different shades of the same kind of color family at Dollar Tree, and that's where I got mine. Okay, what I do is I take those packs and I mix them to my liking, and so I will be adding some of these in this little pouch here. So what I'm going to do is, in order to get the mixture that I like, I'm going to put them back in this bowl, and I'm just going to pour and shake to see how much shine I have in there, and I love it. I love the shine. I know the noise is loud, but that's what a shaker is about. The sound. And looking at something pretty when you're having maybe a tough day figuring out bills or whatever it is that you're doing in your traveler's notebook. It's always nice to have something pretty to look at. Add a little bit of that, a little bit of this. So far this is what it's looking like. Got a nice little mixture going there. And I also have some glass beads. Now these, I want to say I got them at Michael's or Hobby Lobby, and they are $2.99 for a little container. You probably can find them at any craft store. Oh, I put these purple beads in the wrong, pony beads in the wrong shaker. This one doesn't have, what I'm doing is I'm going off of this, and so I want one of my sides to be the green mixture and orange with a little touch of yellow, and then I want my other mixture to be the purple pinkish family. So this is the one I'm going off of. Perhaps I should leave that out. Okay, so now I want to, I've also added some bead landings, and these are little jewels that are also flat back, and they come in different colors and shades. Let me add a few more of those. Let's see, do my other one right away. Since those colors don't really matter, you can put the same in those. Okay, get rid of the stuff that we've already used. Maybe we'll add a few of these white glass beads or clear, just to give it some type of shake and more noise. We can do this multicolored bead. This is pretty. It's multiple colors. I don't know if you can see those different colors. There's greens, purples, blues, bronze. Some of those. On this blue one, on this blue tray, we will add some of the purple glass beads. I've already added some of the pink ones, so we don't need to do those. Set those aside. I also have a mixture that I made. It's pink and orange. I think it's really pretty. And it's got also shimmery, shiny ones in there. I'm going to throw a bit of those in the mix. Ooh, I like that orange. Pops. I like it when it makes it pop. I love color. People have asked me before, what's your favorite color? Well, that's a hard question for me to answer because I love color. So it doesn't really matter. Depends what it is, I guess. I also have this little cute little dispenser from Recollections, and this was purchased at Michael's. So if you have a Michael's card or coupons, you can use them. Don't forget, sometimes they have these 40% off, or you can get them sometimes 20% off, just depends. If they're not, if you don't have a coupon, I don't remember the price on them, but I know they're a little pricey. So we'll throw some yellow, what are these? Yellow stars into this mix. I'll show you what those look like. Cute little stars. And we will also put some little orange hearts. You're saying, Lori, that's a lot of stuff in that shaker. It is, but it's a planner, or it's a note, a traveler's notebook. And, well, I like looking at pretty things. And when I'm bored, I could just shake it, and yeah, I like it. We'll add some orangish, iridescent little hearts. We can't skip the white sequin. We'll throw a sprinkle of white in there. And we'll also throw some in this one. And I did not add any of this mixture, so we'll be adding some of this mixture to the pink mixture. See what we're looking like. It's getting pretty full. And if it is too full and it seems like, wow, I just really overdid it, because too much can be a lot and a little can also be a lot. A little sometimes is enough. And so when I make mixtures like this, I don't really focus on how much I'm throwing in there. What I'm focusing on is how it looks. I like it chunky, but I also don't want to overdo it. So I will only pour in there what looks good for that particular shaker. And then the rest of this mixture, I just package it into little packages like this. And whenever I have a, say, swap that's going, I can gift this to somebody, or I can put it in a pocket letter. So either way, it gets used up. Or my little girl likes to play with them too. So it never is a waste. Okay, so we got that. Also have some mica beads. Now, mica beads, I have never used this one, but I have these real pretty purple, and they look like little tiny silver. And I'm going to pour just a few in my hand so you can see just how tiny these things are. My gosh, they are so, so tiny. I mean, they must be, man, the size of a mustard seed, if that. And that will just be something that will be at the bottom. And these things, let me tell you, if they fall on the floor, you're not picking them up. If they fall on your desk like this, they just go all over the place. You're not going to catch them. So the vacuum is the next best friend to that. Okay, so I also have some of these pretty looking cranberry ones. I think I'll throw some of those in. Okay. And I think that's it for that one. We'll go to our chunky glitter. And boy, am I making a shaker. We will be using some pink little, look like hexagons, octagons maybe. Look like hexagons. Now this gives it a nice little pop of shine. I like that. Oh, I am loving this, and I just love the way it feels. And when you hear it shake, it's going to be loud, okay? So be prepared. Yellow. Oh, that yellow just really did something for this. Can you see that? How pretty that is. I love it. Love, love, love it. Okay, now let's switch over to our blue-green mixture with orange and yellow. So let's get some green in there. It is open. Enough. We'll just add. Get some yellow in this one. That yellow just makes things pop. And this one also has blue. And orange. Okay. So far, this is what it's looking like. It's a hot mess. Okay, did I add any of these mica beads? I don't think I did. We'll add some blue mica beads. And some green mica beads. Mix it all up. Now, we need to decide and possibly even have ready to go, so we don't end up with this on the floor, what we're going to close the tops of these with. Now, first I had thought of double-sided tape and then putting washi tape over the edges. Double-sided tape, I get mine through Amazon. You can also buy this at the Dollar Tree. You can buy it at Tuesday Morning, any craft store, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, or the red line tape. I have that also, which I thought of using that and then doing a washi tape. A washi tape looks like, and I'm just going to grab some random rolls here. This is washi tape, and it would have been a decorative tape to put over the top, but I thought it might not be strong enough, and I don't want this to fall apart on me in the middle of a project or in the middle of the car. That would be a disaster. So I thought I would use the gold and the green duct tapes. They're decorative and they're pretty, and it would just fold right over the top, and I wouldn't have to worry about it ever coming off, of course, unless somebody pulled it off. So now what I need to find out is how much of this do I need. I can also add to this if I wanted to even make it prettier and put a strip of this over each side. That's something to think about. You can glue it down if you like to. I won't be doing that today. I may later, I don't know. But it's just an idea. You can also put a thin strip of washi tape over this, but I like shiny things. And so if I was going to do it, I probably would be using that. So let's find out. I know we cut them at 4.5, but sometimes when you're going through an oven or a heat, yeah, it shrunk. So, oh no, we did cut them at 4.25, not 4.5, 4.25, and it stayed 4.25. So my tape, I am going to make it just a little bit longer. I do not make my mark, my score mark, until I'm putting my books together. But in this case, I want to see where it's going to end, because I want my tape to extend past the opening. And so I'm probably going to cut this at 4.5 instead of 4.25, because I believe each side should be 5 inches after my mark. And it is 5 1/8. So I'm going to cut my tape strips and get them ready to go at 4.5. Make sure it is pretty straight. And leave that right there. Now remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's crafting, it's handmade, and that's the fun of it. And the imperfections sometimes give it interest. Most of the time, I would say, not sometimes. It gives it interest, and it can be a nice thing. That's how you know it was homemade, right? Handmade. Again, I need 4.5 inches. We that there. That's pretty good. I'm getting good at this eyeballing stuff. All right. We're ready. We're ready for you now. Now what I need to figure out, well, I don't need to figure that out now because I haven't made my score mark. So it doesn't matter which side I put it on. I can either have it whichever way. Now some people like to put inside of here a card with words. And what I mean by that is you can put, say, journaling cards in there. And this way, when the person that is shaking this sees it, they've got something to see in there and read while they're shaking it. Oh, shine bright. That look cute, right? So we may or may not do that. If I'm going to do that, I would want something on both sides because it's going to show through. So I would then tape this together or glue it, and this way there's a message on both sides, which I kind of like that idea, but I just might do that. So I should have thought of this before, so I would not be taking up any video time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save you the waiting time for me searching, and I will be right back. For you, it'll be a second, split second. For me, it'll be a few minutes. See you in a few. Okay, I'm back, and what I decided was on these cards, do something nice every day, and I glued it back to back against the sparkle, and I'm going to have this one for my green mix, my green and blue. I have decided on best day and really, really like you for my pink mix. They're still not dry, but that's okay. They'll dry inside. I use the clear gel Aleene's tacky glue. I could have gone with double-sided tape. I didn't want it for some reason with the weather, depending where it's going to be, if it's going to be a moist area or dry area. I didn't want it to start coming apart. I got me some Gina K Designs Premium Dye Ink. These are the mini cubes. To just edge around the corners. And give it some interest, some kind of a border of color. And just take that and slide it across. I like to get it on my card. I think it just, like I said, gives some interest to things. It distresses these edges. I like it. I think it looks pretty. So I do it intentionally when I do that. Just add some here on the bottom so it kind of balances out. There we go. And it looks really cute inside. So now we're going to put our card in there. Isn't that cute that's going to look? I'll do that last. I should have got my funnel, but I know that some of these chunkier pieces will not go through my funnel. So I'm just going to be at the mercies of my bowl. Try and get all that in there. Now that is a lot. So what I said earlier we'll have to do, and that's take out a bit. But I will put back the chunky buttons, stuff like that. The beads I forgot to mention I had some cute little beads that I put in there. I do want the chunk in there. That's what makes the shaker cards for a book such as this. It also keeps it expanded so that all the other little pieces can flow through freely. So I filled it up about halfway. I'm going to put this sparkle card in there and see how it looks. Now we may or may not want it in there after we do see what it looks like. I have to trim the card down. I think I'm going to have to. So we'll do that. We'll trim the card down. Take out our trimmer. I just love it. Love it. Okay, I'll make sure I got all my buttons in there. I love buttons. Love, love, love buttons. So your shaker card should be able to move freely. So I still might have quite a bit in there. I'm going to try and get some of these smaller pieces out. Again, put back my chunky ones in. Buttons, where are you? And then whenever I decide to use this mix for whatever I do decide to use it for, I can always add something to it. Some chunky stuff to it if it requires it. There we go. I'm pretty happy with that. So technically you're doing my very first Traveler's Notebook shaker pouch. Okay, so that's happy. I'm happy with that. Now let's put this card in there and see what it's going to look like. Put the card in there before we do decide to leave it in there. Okay, so that's what it's going to look like. To see it, you'll have to shake everything to the bottom. And I like it, so we'll leave it in there. Okay, so now that we've done that, clean this up a little bit here. I hope you're enjoying this video so far. I hope it's not too long for you. You can always rewind it, fast forward it, see the portions that you'd like to see. All right, so we got to do this half and half, right? Half on each side. So here's where my little grid comes in handy. Give it a good press. Are you happy with it now? Yes. Now I'm happy with it. Now everything's moving freely. That's what it's supposed to do. Everything's moving nice and freely now. And if that stays stuck up there, that's fine. It'll always come down. Make sure we got this taped in there really good. Right, so there's that side. Okay, it's like a hot mess, doesn't it? But you know what? This hot mess is going to look pretty when it's in the Traveler's Notebook. Okay, now I get rid of this stuff here off my desk, that is. We don't want green somehow working its way into our pink mix. Okay, now we're working on the pink side. I think maybe we should put the card in first. Now this card should be fine. We shouldn't have to trim it because this card is not going widthwise, it's going lengthwise. widthwise, right? Widthwise, lengthwise. And I just love this mixture. But I know I'm not going to be able to keep it all. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select the pieces, hopefully quickly, that I really, really want in there. So I'm going to chunk it up into my hand. Get the chunky ones. Now that I know, and we're learning this together because this is the first one ever for me. And if this is your first one, I hope you're enjoying it. And I hope that you make one. And if you do, please feel free to share it right here on my YouTube. I'd love to see your work. Or you can share it on your YouTube and tag me in it. I'd love to see it. Well, let's see what we got. I love the chunkiness. Okay. Now we're going to need to add little bits. And the reason I'm turning some of these around is because if they're layering on top of each other the way they were, that's going to get it stuck. And I think that's what was happening because I just caught that right now. I noticed that there was 3 or 4 of these really chunky ones on top of each other. And so I'm putting some in the front and some in the back. Eventually they're going to go wherever they want. But to start out, I think it's important to do that. So I'm going to pour some of this. Is nice because it has a little funnel. Some of this funnel, some of that in there. And this one's moving. Very nice. Let's see if we got the same amounts in there. Oh, pretty much, huh? Looks like it. If I can zoom out a little bit. Looks about even. Let's see. I would like to get some of these little sequin in there. I hope my hand's not in the way. Doing this at a different angle. I just wanted you to see the whole desk because I noticed, I don't have much room to work with in the others videos, and I want it to be able to be seen so you can see all the items that are required. Okay, so this is where we're at. They look about even, but are they going to shape? Okay, I think I'm happy with that. That butterfly in there. And the heart. Just can't do it, can I? Just can't give it up. Give it up, Lori. Give it up. Now that's another good question. Which one do I want to face? Do something nice every day. Really, really like you together. Best day, sparkle, or do I want to do something nice every day? Best day. Really, really like you, sparkle. Yeah, I like it that way. Okay. Why does it matter? I don't know. It matters to me though. It matters to me, believe it or not. It really does. Oh, I didn't want to use gold, guys. I wanted to use purple. That's okay. I'll use that gold for something else. There we go. So I think what I'm going to do, because this tape did not go on exactly straight, is I'm going to add me a nice little piece of lace to give it not just decor, but to hide that white that you can see inside. So there we have it. There is the shaker for the Traveler's Notebook. Okay. So this would go in the book, somewhere in the book, my dashboard. And somewhere in this book there's going to be a shaker. And it could even be like that. It doesn't have to be together. Okay, you get the idea. Yeah, so there we have it. Nice little shaker pouch for a traveler's notebook. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up, please. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. Like and share the video. That will help my channel to grow. And it will also give me notification that you like it, and I will be able to create more videos. So thank you very much, everybody. And you all have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye-bye now.